Alright, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Son of the living power, the Messiah, which these are the true names of the Most High and His only begotten Son in the ancient Hebrew tongue, in Lashon Kodash, which means holy language. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers in His truth. Right, in this lesson, I'm going to be touching on a particular article that came out 2 days ago, which the title of this article says, how many Hebrew Israelites are there, and how worried should Jews be? Should a so-called Jewish be? Now, what's happening is the prophecies written in the scriptures is being performed. Right, the nations are being fearful because of this uprising, because of this, and really because of the spirit that's in, the elect, which in fact, let's go to the book of Habakkuk, right? And before I touch on anything, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, this video is edifying. The nations, they're being fearful. They are afraid of the spirit that's in the elect. They are afraid of the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right? Because this awakening, the so-called Black, Latino, Native Indians being enlightened, right, standing upon their feet, that's all through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Not by our own breath, or by our own power, by our own hands, by our own spirit, but it's all through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Not Habakkuk, but Hosea Salaki. Just missed it. Hosea chapter 1, verse 7. Matter of fact, let's get Habakkuk real quick. Get the it's a better scripture than Habakkuk. All scripture is fine though. Habakkuk. I meant to say Zechariah Salaki. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, this is the word of Yahweh. Matter of fact, let's start at Zechariah chapter 4, verse 3. It says, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. Now the 2 olive trees represents what? The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom of Israel. Right? Judah, the house of Judah, and the house of Ephraim. It says, so I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, what are these, my Lord? Right? So basically, Zechariah, he was showed a vision of these 2 olive trees, which was ultimately represents Israel. Right? And Zechariah, he required, what these mean or what these are, if you will. It says, and this is the angel response. Verse 5. Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, no, my Lord. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, this is the word of Yahweh unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. Right, so this awakening, it's all through the power and through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right, the elect waking up to this truth, recovering this pure language, which is Paleo Hebrew, and consenting unto the Lord to call upon his name, that's all through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it's nothing that the nations can do about it. You know? Which touching upon this article again, we could see, you know, the concern. We could see their concern with this you know, growing religion. You know, or this this, you know, what's the word? Notable, if you will. Notable in the sense of coming into sight, you know, being remembered, you know, right? And, you know, we can see their concern, their worries, man. You know, and in fact, let's get that prophecy real quick. The book of Revelation, chapter 11. Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Right, and the elect Israel standing upon their feet. You know, the elect right now is being led by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, and it's also walking after Yahweh Shai, walking in the spirit. You know, learning this truth. After teaching the truth, prophesying, preaching, edifying, rebuking, and reproving. Right, it says, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So there's a concern. They're concerned with this awakening, with this movement, if you will. You know? And really, it's nothing they could do about it. In fact, in the book of Isaiah, they tell you, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. In that day shall Egypt, which is America is spiritually called Egypt and Sodom, right? In that day shall Egypt be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah, right, the so-called Negroes waking up to this truth, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt, right? So the land of Judah is going to be a terror unto Egypt. So this is a terrifying sight. You know, this Hebrew Israelite awakening. That's a terrifying sight unto the nations. It says, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he have determined against it. You know, and you know, there's nothing that the so-called white man Esau can do about it. You know, in fact, let's go to the book of Hosea real quick. I think Hosea. This is the book of Hosea, not Hosea, but Amos, chapter 7, verse 10. That Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel. The land is not able to bear all his words. So because of, Amos prophesying against a certain land, the land, the people was not able to bear it. Right? These are, ultimately these prophecies, it's a burden onto the nations. It's heavy, man. And it's going to come to a point where the nations, all men shall fear, or not all fear, but all men shall hate us for Yahweh Shah's sake. Verse 11, it says, "For thus Amos saith, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led away captive out of their own land." Also Amaziah said unto Amos, O thou seer, go flee thee away into the land of Judah, and there eat bread and prophesy there. Right? And really, ultimately, the prophets here today, they're likened unto seers. Now, what is a seer? One who foresees, one who sees in the future, man. So ultimately, there's a change, that's, ultimately the Lord is requiring. In fact, let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras real quick. Come on, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 15. It says, "And therefore when it speaketh, be not afraid." Now, when it says when it speaketh, it's concerning this word. Right? Because these words do speak. Which is these words what come being fulfilled, being performed. And there's prophecies concerning the so-called Black, Latino, Native Indians being enlightened, man, and being awakened, and standing upon their feet, and leaning upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And that prophecy is being performed, man. It says, "And therefore when it speaketh, be not afraid." Don't be afraid of these prophecies. It says, "And the word is of the end." So this word is concerning the end. And we seen these words being performed, man. And by these words, we are able to tell whether we are in the end or not. Right? The scripture says, measure the time diligently. And how we measure the time with this rod, this measuring stick. This is a rod, man. Now, when you go into it, sometimes a rod represents a measuring stick. So this word is of the end. It says, "For the word is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood." And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth, and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. Right? So, and ultimately, this word is basically foretelling the change, man. Right? Because Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is going to bring change, man. Because right now you have the fool, you have the base, the low of the earth, ruling the nations, which is a so-called white man. But you have the princes, which is Israel, the so-called Black, Latino, Native Indians, walking on the earth as servants, man. So the Lord is going to change that. You have wickedness overflowing, right? And righteousness is, is not in the land. In fact, let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Second Esdras chapter 5, verse 11. It says, "One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, No." Right? So, there's no righteousness in the land. Right? So ultimately the Lord is requiring change. And he's going to bring change at the end of the day. go to the book of Job real quick. Yeah. Job chapter 15 verse 21. It says, a dreadful sound is in his ears. Now that dreadful sound is this word, these prophecies in the in the ears of the elites, in the ears of the rich making families. It says a dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. Now you got the nukes, the missiles, and you also got Yahushai, coming, on that appointed day, if you will, the second coming. Right, let's read again. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. So it ultimately, this word is, striking fear into the hearts of the world, man. Which I'm gonna close off on that. This is a short video. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles, a great most on peace and blessings, unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers in this truth.